In January of 2014, I traveled to Israel to conduct the very first CrossFit Level 1 seminar ever held there.
It's a pleasure to be here. This is our first Level 1 course from CrossFit in Israel.
During the trip, I reconnected with old friends and made a few new ones. All while traveling around a part of the world I had always dreamed of visiting. Just like back home, CrossFit was thriving in Israel. But I knew there were also unique and complicated political and cultural tensions all around me.
You have to admit that there's like a little bit of tension in some areas. It's not all rainbows and sunshine.
It's not.
Okay.
It's definitely not.
I even met a few trainers who seemed to think CrossFit could serve as a bridge between Palestinian and Israeli CrossFit communities.
But now we need to let go of the past, just moving forward. And CrossFit, this is the bridge. There could be a bridge between this, between two of us.
I decided that I needed to visit with people living on the other side, in Palestine and the contested territories, even across the border in Jordan, to hear from people with a different perspective. Unfortunately, I never got that chance.
It would be a politically incorrect move.
It would be a politically,
As Americans, to show an Israeli settlement that has a CrossFit gym in the West Bank.
Yeah, especially in that spot.
In October 2015, I did get that chance. Welcome to the other side. Amman, the capital of Jordan, a city of 4 million people and a host to 4 CrossFit affiliates. This bustling, modern metropolis is steeped in history and sits at the crossroads of many regional conflicts. Amman is full of amazing historical sites, crowded markets, and modern conveniences. In exploring the city, there's no better place to start than the iconic Roman ruins perched on a hill in the city's center, the Citadel.
جمل في جوا منسف جوا فيش في وين لا بس مش جوا.
Joseph Peer is originally from Memphis, Tennessee, but has been living in Amman with his family for the past few years. He has learned to speak Arabic semi-fluently and is familiar with most of Amman's history and cultural offerings.
Amman is known, it's really built around 7 hills. The whole city built up, this being the first one, and it all revolves around where you can find your water source. But what's really cool is you'll see through the millennium how it was built up from the very first people to the Romans to the Mayas to everything. It's pretty amazing.
Joseph owns CrossFit Crescent, which he opened with a local partner in 2014.
What are the challenges of opening a business and what's it like to get equipment here?
Yeah. I think the first challenge is just finding really a local partner that you can trust, that understands a lot of the processes, the ins and outs, and has the relationships to make things happen. So
does he help you jump through hoops, basically?
Yeah, he helps me know what the hoops are, how the hoops are moving month by month that you have to jump through.
Interesting.
And
so there's a lot of red tape.
There is a lot of red tape.
Amman is a fascinating mix of the ancient and the modern. The city combines Western efficiencies and attitudes with a more laid-back and, at times, somewhat chaotic atmosphere.
Crossing the street is sort of an art form here. And by art form, I mean, like, dangerous. And if you just stand here waiting for it to be safe, you'll never get across the street. So rather than wait for it to be safe, you wait for it to be less dangerous. Here we go. Joseph's going to demonstrate. All right, that's not too bad. The van coming right for us.
Basically, the way the right-of-way works here is no matter what happens if you hit a person, you're at fault.
I feel a lot safer. I guess. I feel safer. Opening an affiliate in this part of the world, in Jordan, getting the equipment in, getting the space, like logistics, how hard is that to be a small business owner here?
It is very hard. I mean, whatever it costs you to get equipment from the US, it's at least double the amount. Shipping and customs and all of that, so it becomes quite expensive.
Laith Masri and his wife Rima own CrossFit Quicksand, which was actually the first affiliate in all of Jordan. They also happen to own Cafe Strada, a coffee shop that feels like it was transplanted here from Portland or Austin.
As a business environment as well, it's not like the US. Most things you can do online and do it, so it's a lot of
So
running
there's
around.
red tape and bureaucracy.
A lot.
Do you think that's inhibited or affected the growth here? Do you know of people who are trying to get affiliated and just the growth
Well, eventually that
process?
will work. Yeah, eventually it will work. You just got to be patient. It's just not an easy process to go through, or it's not a clear process to go through. And then trying to categorize what we do in terms of fitness. The question becomes, where's your machines? Where's this? All that. So it becomes a headache introducing a new concept into the country.
These are the most dangerous things that you have to get away from them.
What, other cars in
No,
Jordan?
these
buses?
these buses are insane.
The traffic lines, are those just suggestions?
Yeah, just for
There's no rule about staying in your lane. And the blinkers, that would give the other drivers an unfair advantage, right? Because they know what you were about to do?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that now.
he didn't want to do that.
Najim Momkeg is the owner of CrossFit 962. Rather than opening a standalone facility, Najim opted to house his affiliate inside the heart of what feels like enemy territory. He operates 962 out of what has to be the biggest Globo gym I've ever seen in my life.
Is this your parking spot? Not your car?
This is the jam.
This is Terminal A of the gym.
A membership at Fitness One Vega includes a fully stocked supplement store, a barbershop, a cafe complete with outdoor smoking area,
Outside is the smoking area. You can smoke. If you want to smoke, you can smoke.
So after your workout,
After you can, if you want
post-workout cigarette.
nicotine,
Yeah.
you can go outside.
a very friendly pool and sauna area, and of course, all the machines you could possibly want, including my personal favorite, the yes-no machine.
This is the no machine. No means no. No means no. You have to make the noise? Yes. Do I need to hold? Do I need to do any counting? Okay, go. 5, 4. 1. Do I need to hold it? 2. No.
Unbelievably, what we saw of this massive Globo gym was only half of the story.
For the gym, we are separated. So it's separated. The guys work out alone and the girls work out alone. They have their own swimming pool, their own water area, and we have our own water area there too.
So there's 2 of everything,
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
except for your affiliate.
Except the box, it's mixed.
Najim was a personal trainer at Fitness One Vega for years before sipping the CrossFit Kool-Aid. In opening 962, he had the full support of the gym ownership and managed to avoid the red tape and bureaucracy that hindered Laith and Joseph. And of course, like so many of us, he remembers his first CrossFit workout among the rows of fancy machines inside this very gym.
Yeah, everyone said, of course, everyone was looking, what the hell are they doing? When I did the workout and I was on the ground, can't breathe, that was amazing. That's the best feeling that I had. And that's the time that I said, I'm gonna do CrossFit for all my life.
In most ways, 962 is just like any other polished CrossFit facility in the world. But to an American, it was obvious that affiliates in this region face unique health and cultural issues with their clients. In particular, I was interested in exploring how the cultural divide between men and women translates into the gym setting, especially seeing how CrossFit empowers women in ways that might seriously test the conservative cultural norms in this primarily Muslim society.
Let's see it. Let's see what you got. That's it. Oh, good. We can work with that. Absolutely. Okay, follow me.
Noor Dajani is the head women's coach at Joseph's affiliate, CrossFit Crescent. Like many women in this part of the world, Noor chooses to wear the hijab, or traditional women's headdress, while in public, and this includes during workouts. I was interested to hear the perspective of a woman on this more conservative side of the spectrum.
Culturally for us, it's no big deal to have men and women training together. They take all their clothes off. They sweat. It's not what would be acceptable to most people here. How does that work?
It's not easy. It's a challenge, definitely. Of course, ladies feel more comfortable working out without putting the hijab on. So it's a challenge just sweating in the hijab.
There's ways that they deal with that culturally. They'll have gender-specific classes, women's class only, where the women can take some of their clothing off, like the hijab. But, I wanted to know what it was like for her to be a female coach in a part of the world where this is a place where men sort of run things. Have you experienced any difficulty with instructing male athletes, trying to correct male athletes, and getting pushback?
I experienced some of that. Like I had some people walk into the gym rolling their eyes when I asked them to correct the technique or talk to them more about how to do this stuff. But then later on, after a few times, they know that I know what I'm doing and I can do more than what they're doing.
Right.
So I see the change of attitude later on.
And so then you just stomped them in workout and they started listening?
Yeah, not just that. Like when I coach, I like they can tell I know what I'm doing. And come on, they see other people respecting me
Yes.
and listening to me, so they would like think, oh my God, why am I the only person who is not listening?
That's why you're missing it. It's because your pull is great, and then this part's missing. So you got to keep the hands close. That's your job. Yeah, absolutely. How does that work? Having a female telling in a mixed class men to, that rep didn't count.
Yeah.
That's hard for even me as a male coach sometimes to walk up and take. Yeah, those last 3 reps that you just
Thought you did.
I'm gonna go ahead and take those away. That must be challenging for her.
Our motto is intensity with humility. And so I did have a guy recently, he ended up basically yelling at Noor saying, you can't be my coach because I can back squat more than you. And so that was an easy one phone call to him and give him his money back and said, see you later, you're not really welcome here. So this culture has a separation and there's different viewpoints on the role and the place that women have in society. And so our classes are mixed, women are together with the men. And it's a chance for the women to really be challenged and to do things that they've never really tried before, never thought they were capable of doing. And it's a chance for people to do that together. And again, it's a sense of togetherness.
Even with the mixed classes, it's a little bit different than going to a mixed gym. Here it's like one family, one community. It's like there's work that has to be done. You're focusing on your technique, on your workout. So it's not like you're just hanging out. So once people get into CrossFit, especially ladies, they understand how things are going. So that encourages them to stay. And that's actually a way that they're helping their family, their community to understand how they're doing fitness. So that generates more support.
CrossFit seems to be at the forefront of a cultural shift here in Jordan, one where the dynamics between men and women are being changed. The power of this global community never ceases to amaze. My time in Amman allowed me to meet some of the veteran affiliate owners here, and we started to scratch the surface on the pace of life and the uniqueness of Jordan. I could already see that smoking was a huge problem here, and I was just starting to hear sobering reports about the prevalence of type 2 diabetes. I was interested in learning more, but more than anything, I wanted to explore the question that brought me here. Could CrossFit bridge the seemingly insurmountable divide between Israel and its Arab neighbors? I felt like a naive American even asking that question. But I also know CrossFit can make people do some pretty crazy things.
I just want to see, I think Joseph's really think he wants to impress us. So I want to see how far we can take it. Like, I'm going to ask him to do something like super dangerous, just see if we try. I don't know if I won't let him go through with it, but. Okay. We've decided we want you up on that tall one right there. Yeah. You think you can do it? I'll get you on main side if you can do it.
Yeah, on main side?
Yeah.
That's definitely.
See what I mean? Okay.
Coming up next on BorderLines, we check out some of Jordan's most famous attractions,
That's crazy.
mingle with the locals, and learn about health challenges in the region.
I mean, smoking is a huge epidemic.
We'll stop by the very first Level 1 to be held in Jordan and ask some tough questions about CrossFit and conflict.
That's just naive.
There's a lot of history there that hasn't been taken care of yet.
And later, amid growing tensions,
Is this a safe thing for us to be doing?
we'll venture across the land border back into Israel.
I hear a lot of chanting and yelling in Arabic. We need to move.
And finally, we'll head to Palestine, to the other side of the wall.
You know, I'm used to watching this on the news.